Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kunikiri Govardhan ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Navadip Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Puri ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai. Jamuna Mai ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Deva. What's humming? Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrimad Bhāgavatam 4.8.55. Shalilaihi. HDMI cable disconnected. I can't hear you. Okay, just by hearing. Shalilaihi, Shuchipir, Malyar, Vanyar, Mula, Paladipihi, Shashta, Ankura, Angshukais, Charchet, Tulasya, Priyaya, Prabhum. Okay, let's figure the tech out. I'll give it a minute. Okay, we can't connect to the network. Okay, if you have your phone, look for the verse. Yeah, can't connect to the internet. There's an RGM streaming. Okay, let's just turn the screen off. Okay, hey. We have a verse. Thank you, Archita Prabhu. Everyone? You had it right before, and now it's a mess. But not quite there yet. Yeah, good. Okay, touch me not. Go ahead. Yes, Nitai. We skipped over Maharaj. Yes? Would you like to chant? Okay. Shalilaihi, by use of water. Shuchibihi, being purified. Malyaihi, by garlands. Manyaihi, of forest flowers. Mula, roots. Phala, adibhihi, by different kinds of vegetables and fruit. Shasta, the newly grown grass. Ankura, buds. Angshukaihi, by the skin of trees, such as the bhurja. Cha, and Archet should worship. Tulasya, by the tulsi leaves. Priyaya, which are very dear to the Lord. Prabhum, the Lord. One should worship the Lord by offering pure water, pure flower garlands, fruits, flowers, and vegetables, which are available in the forest, or by collecting newly grown grasses, small buds of flowers, or even, and if possible, by offering tulsi leaves, which are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. It is specifically mentioned herein that tulsi leaves are very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and devotees should take particular care to have tulsi leaves in every temple and center of worship. In the Western countries, while engaged in propagating the Krishna consciousness movement, we were brought great unhappiness because we could not find tulsi leaves. We are very much obliged, therefore, to our disciple Srimati Govindadasi because she has taken much care to grow tulsi plants from seeds, and she has been successful by the grace of Krishna. Now, tulsi plants are growing in almost every center of our movement. Tulsi leaves are very important in the method of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the word Shalilaihi means by the water. Of course, Dhruva Maharaj was worshipping on the bank of the Jamuna. The Jamuna and the Ganges are sacred, and sometimes devotees in India insist that the deity must be worshipped with water of the Ganges or Jamuna. But here we understand Deshakal to mean according to time and country. In the Western countries, there's no river Jamuna or Ganges. Water from such sacred rivers is not available. Does this mean that the Archa worship should for that reason be stopped? No. Shalilaihi refers to any water, whatever is available, but it must be very clear and collected purely. That water can be used. The other paraphernalia, such as flower garlands, fruits, and vegetables, should be collected according to the country and according to their availability. Tulsi leaves are very important for satisfying the Lord, so as far as possible, an arrangement should be made for growing tulsi leaves. Dhruva Maharaj was advised to worship the Lord with the fruits and flowers available in the forest. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna frankly says that he accepts vegetables, fruits, flowers, etc. One should not offer Lord Vasudeva anything other than what is prescribed herein by the great authority Narad Muni. One cannot offer to the deity according to one's whims. Since these fruits and vegetables are available anywhere in the universe, we should observe this small point very attentively. Om Jnana-timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadhati Shapadantikam Vande Hang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vansha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhyevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Salilai Shuchibir Malyar Vanyar, Mula Paladi, Kashtanu Purang Shukais Charchet, Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum. So here we learn what we should offer to the Lord, specifically what Dhruva Maharaj is being told to offer to the Lord. He's in the forest, so he should offer forest flowers, forest vegetables, and so on. And in the previous verse we heard Kala Desha, or Desha Kala, according to the place, according to the time. According to the time, if one can offer seasonal fruits, seasonal flowers, that's best, which means growing them usually. Otherwise, obtaining what's available locally, that's in season. This is one of the items of devotional service mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. Otherwise, in the big cities of the world, everything is always in season because it's always in season somewhere and imported, although not always very nice. So you can get a poor excuse of a mango for $1.50 and so on, because it's in season somewhere. But best if one can offer things available locally. Best if the devotees can have gardens and grow fruits, flowers, vegetables on the roof. Some things are growing. So this is first class. Then next down. Purchasing here and there. Salilai, water, Shuchipi. Everything should be very clean. Prabhupada, in the deity worship, there's so many things that are in the deity worship. There'll be a course in the next week or so, I think. And so many details to learn. But Prabhupada emphasized two especially, that everything should be very punctual and everything should be very clean. These two things. I think when one devotee, Bhadradasi, was in charge of the kitchen, he asked, here in New York, he asked Prabhupada any instructions. Prabhupada said everything should be revolutionary clean. He said by cleanliness you'll attain bhava. Those who want to know the secret of attaining bhava. How do we attain bhava? How can I attain bhava? If you'd like to know the secret, this is the secret now published, by being scrupulously clean. One attains bhava, Prabhupada said. By cleaning the temple, by cleaning the kitchen, one cleans the heart. And when the heart is clean, then one can attain bhava. So Shuchi, water collected should be clean. Everything offered to the deity should be clean. And of course, the person offering should be clean. Bhaya Bhyantara Shuchi. Clean cloth, clean body, clean everything. And clean mind. The mind also should be clean by Krishna consciousness. Chanting Hare Krishna, remembering Krishna. This is clean. Shalilai Shuchibir Malyar, forest garlands, Vanyar, Malyar Vanyar, Mula Paladipi, and Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum, by offering Tulsi to the Lord. In Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Srila Prabhupada rarely mentions any of his disciples In fact, I can't remember any disciples that he mentions elsewhere in Śrimad Bhāgavatam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita he does several times. He mentions different devotees. But the only devotee I can remember who's mentioned in the purports of Śrimad Bhāgavatam is Govindadasi. He was one of Prabhupada's early disciples. She came before I did. And she was sometimes Prabhupada's personal assistant here in New York and elsewhere, along with her husband. And here she gets the credit for introducing the Tulsi worship. She was posted in Honolulu, and there, as I recall, she grew the first Tulsi plants in ISKCON, for which she won special appreciation from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada once said, "We just want a certificate from Krishna. This man has done some service." So here, seems Govindadasi has gotten a certificate from Srila Prabhupada. This woman has done some notable service. Someone may be a great manager, he may open many temples, he may collect so much money, so many things. And during Prabhupada's time, so many devotees did collect so much money, open so many temples. But here, Govindadasi is the devotee who got the honor of being mentioned in Śrimad Bhāgavatam, because Prabhupada so much appreciated that she was able to grow Tulsi. Tulsi is Tulsi Krishna Prayasi. Krishna Priya. The Tulsi is dear to Krishna. We can't argue. Why Tulsi? Why not rose? Why not jasmine? Why not bell leaves? Why not, what are those called? Well, there's banyan leaves and so many avocado leaves. But the Tulsi leaf is offered to Krishna. Tulsi buds, Krishna, Tulsi leaves, Tulsi flowers are dear to Krishna. One can't challenge, why Tulsi? Krishna likes her, that's all. Prabhupada said that about several things. Why a flute? Why this? Why that? And Krishna likes it, that's all. If Krishna likes someone or something, that's good enough. We don't have to challenge or question. Krishna likes Tulsi. For Lord Shiva, the bell leaf, bilva leaf. Those who are from India or been to India, you know there's a tree that gives those round, about the size of a baseball, fruits, green and a little yellow sometime, with nice fruit inside. So that's bell tree. And the leaf of the bell tree is appreciated by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is worshipped with bilva, bell, in Sanskrit bilva. Lord Shiva is worshipped with this bell leaf. But Lord Krishna, or any Vishnu Tattva, they're worshipped with the Tulsi leaf. The Tulsi is only offered to Vishnu Tattva, not to Srimati Radharani, not to the spiritual master, not to anyone else. Only to Vishnu or to Krishna. Prabhupada said Srimati Radharani she can have some Tulsi in her hand for offering to Krishna. But we don't offer, even though she's so exalted, we don't offer the Tulsi to Srimati Radharani, but exclusively to Krishna or Vishnu Tattva. So in so many ways, Tulsi is, Krishna is bathed in water with Tulsi leaves, Tulsi buds. The food is offered to Krishna with Tulsi. Krishna's lotus feet always have Tulsi. And Krishna likes it. And it serves also as a stimulus for love for Krishna. When we were reading in the previous canto, the Kumaras came to the gates of Vaikuntha, and there was some argument, and then Lord Vishnu came to settle matters. And simply by smelling the tulsi offered at the lotus feet of the Lord, the Kumars became purified. They became elevated to the level of ecstatic devotional love for Krishna. The items closely associated with Krishna are called tadiya. Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tasmad parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. My dear Devi, Lord Shiva told his wife, of all different kinds of worship, the worship of Vishnu is the best. Vishnu aradhanam param. And tasmad parataram devi, and higher than that, tadiyanam samarchanam, is worship of tadiya, that which is associated with Krishna. The devotee is also counted as tadiya. The abode of the Lord, like Vrindavan, Mathura, is also tadiya. And the tulsi is specifically mentioned as tadiya. So by remembering or serving Krishna tadiya, one renders better service than even by worshipping Krishna. And simply by, again, it's said simply by seeing, simply by touching, simply by remembering the tulsi, one lives always in the spiritual world. So Krishna tadiya, the flute is always associated with Krishna, and tulsi is always associated with Krishna. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachyati tadaham bhaktu paratam vishnami prayatatmana. Krishna says, I'll accept a leaf, a fruit, water, patram pushpam, a flower, when it's offered with devotion to me. And Srila Prabhupada comments that the patra, leaf, it especially refers to the tulsi leaf. In Shastra it's mentioned that if someone simply offers tulsi at the lotus feet of the Lord, chanting the holy name, Krishna says, I sell myself to him. If a devotee with love and devotion simply offers tulsi leaves at the lotus feet of the Lord, I sell myself to him. If I recall, this is maybe the verse that Advaita Acharya remembered when he was praying for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was just chanting the holy name and offering tulsi. Am I right? Yes, just chanting the holy name and offering tulsi and praying to Krishna, please come, please come, please come. It's getting too difficult. We need your presence. So by the loud calls of Advaita Acharya and by his worship with simply tulsi leaves, no fancy stuff. He didn't construct a big temple. He didn't construct a big temple. He didn't arrange for gorgeous paraphernalia. He didn't assemble a troupe of 600 Brahmins chanting Vedic mantras, simply offering tulsi and calling to the Lord, please come, please come, please come. That doesn't mean we can't have other offerings to the Lord, but if one has nothing else, this is sufficient. Chanting the holy name, offering tulsi to the Lord, offering clean, pure water to the Lord, and the essential element is bhakti, bhaktya prayachati. Prabhupada mentions in India, even the non-Vaishnavas carefully grow the tulsi plant. And Govinda Dasi grew the plants from seeds. Prabhupada mentioned, by the way, that if we're giving tulsi to others, we should give the seeds, not the plants. He was asked, and that's what he said. And yes, you can give them the seeds. My assumption is that means they have to work. The people who get the seeds have to do some service before they'll get tulsi plants. They have to grow them very carefully, tend to them nicely. Otherwise, we just give the plant. But no, they should do the service. And the tulsi should all be exclusively offered to Krishna. All right, I'll stop here. Some questions, some comments? Yes? Sometimes when we do an offering, there's no tulsi available.
And I've seen some devotees just telling the word.
That microphone does nothing when you hold it at your chest.
And some devotees just pronounce tulsi, tulsi, tulsi.
Some devotees,
just pronounce tulsi, tulsi, tulsi and make an offering.
they do pranams tulsi, tulsi, tulsi.
And make an offering.
And make an offering.
Is it appropriate?
Well, your deity worship minister or some pujari expert would be best equipped to answer that question. I've never heard that this is the process that we say tulsi, tulsi, tulsi. But there's so many things I haven't heard, so things may be possible. But in the absence of, first of all, we should try to have tulsi. In all of our temples and centers, Prabhupada said, tulsi should be there. And people in their homes, devotees also, can grow the tulsi plant. That's very good for the grihastas to perform archan. So growing tulsi is very nice. And it will be troublesome in the Western countries. You'll have to do so many things. Maybe you'll have to obtain one of those tents with special lights and environmental controls, and you'll have to take so much care that the spider mites don't come and attack the plant. So that's very good. The Tadiyanam Samarchanam, service to Tulsi is counted as better than service to the Lord Himself. Even if we don't have a deity, we can simply worship the Tulsi plant. Narad Muni told the hunter and his wife, all right, now that you've thrown away your bow, just make a little cottage, and you and your wife stay in the cottage, and plant Tulsi and chant the holy name sitting in front of the Tulsi plant. He didn't say you establish a deity, and of course Dhruva Maharaj will be advised you make a deity and worship, but even just worship the Tulsi plant. So as far as possible, we should do that. As far as possible, we should do that. And that will be pleasing to the Lord more than worship to Himself. But if for one reason or another the tulsi is not available, then generally our understanding is that in the mind one can do these things. The whole description is there in Nectar of Devotion of complete puja performed only in the mind by one Brahmin, and that puja was successful. But better than just in the mind is take the trouble and grow the plant if possible. Yes, Archita Prabhu.
Maharaj, thank you for the nice presentation. There was a letter to Prabhupada from a Sankirtan team asking about dry tulsi leaves. And Prabhupada said,
There was a letter to
Srila
Prabhupada from the Sankirtan team?
Yeah, traveling, asking about, sometimes we can't get fresh tulsi leaves. Can we offer dry tulsi leaves?
Sometimes we can't
get fresh tulsi leaves. So
Can we offer dried tulsi if we
Prabhupada
can't
said
get
yes.
fresh?
So I'm surprised that in the temple they don't even have dry tulsi leaves. Sometimes they throw away the dry tulsi leaves and then they want to say tulsi, tulsi, tulsi. No, that,
Yeah.
at least save the dry.
If we know that somehow or other we'll be someplace where the tulsi is not available, then the dried tulsi leaves may also be offered. Fresh is better, more appreciated, but if not possible, then dried tulsi leaves, that's better than tulsi, 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 if that's acceptable at all. Of course, chanting the holy name, yes. Well, yes, but where's the microphone go? Yes, if you go behind you, the microphone is heading your way. Español.
Muchas gracias, Maharaj, gracias por la clase.
Pero despacio. Un poco despacio y bien claro.
Está bien. Muchas gracias por su clase. Un placer siempre escucharle.
What is that? Hold on. Okay. Yes.
Maharaj, la pregunta es la siguiente. Si, por ejemplo, el pujari, usted estaba hablando de la limpieza y la puntualidad.
¿Hablando de qué?
De la limpieza.
De la limpieza.
Y la puntualidad.
De
Punctuality.
De las calidades.
Del tiempo. O sea, para ofrecerle a Krishna uno tiene que ser puntual y limpio.
Un poco despacio porque el sonido aquí no es tan bien.
Perdone. Usted habló de la limpieza.
If from the beginning, for example,
Y la puntualidad. Punctuality.
calidad,
Puntualidad. Time. You have to be on time. Tiene que estar en tiempo. Yeah.
I can't understand English or Spanish. Punctuality, okay.
Entonces,
Sobre punctualidad, ¿sí?
Y si de una forma u otra el pujari o el cocinero no ofrecen a tiempo la prasada, ¿es prasada o es boga? ¿Cómo se puede deducir? Si,
El pujari,
si la ofrenda no está a tiempo,
no ¿qué?
no está a tiempo,
No está limpio.
a tiempo,
Uh,
a tiempo.
the pujari is not on time. Okay.
Entonces, nosotros lo que comemos es boga,
No ¿qué?
la deidad no la acepta o lo acepta.
La deidad, if the pujari is not on time, will the deity accept it or not? That's up to him. That's not up to him. That's up to him. I can't say whether he'll accept it or not. But it's not good. Whether Krishna will say, all right, at least you gave something, that's up to him. But we should be on time. To be late is an aparad. It's offensive. You're serving someone, but you're late. Oh, you served Prabhupada's lunch late? Ooh. Prabhupada would be on you would get chewed out for that. And if it were Tamal Krishna Maharaj you were serving, you'd be chewed out twice as much. But because on time, hunger comes on time. According to Ayurveda, if everything's regulated, then you're happy. You know, if you're expecting lunch at 12, you're hungry at 12. And then by 12:15, you're agitated, and by 12:30, throw it away. I don't want anything. Right? I'm so angry I can't eat. So on time is appreciated, also because it means that I was serious. If I'm serious, then I'll try to be on time. It means I know that at such and such time I have to do this so that I'll do it. It doesn't cost extra money, but it means your attention. And if you're lackadaisical, 12:30, 12:45, más o menos, this time or that time, that means you're not serious. There's not real devotion. The husband comes home and asks, is dinner ready? Yeah, it'll be ready in 20 minutes, half an hour, an hour. That means, what was going on? Has his wife got somebody else? What's happening? If the wife doesn't care, that means maybe, who knows? So it means we're not serious. Inattention, one of the aparads in chanting, to be inattentive. So attentive means you're on it. You're on time. Everything's there. So whether Krishna will accept or not accept, that's his business. But from our side, we should be on time. Is that okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Well, wherever it goes. Michael.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Oh, I have a question off of his question. If the deities don't accept the prasadam if it's late,
If
does
the
that make it
deities
boga?
don't accept the boga, is it prasadam?
If it's not on time, does it still make it boga?
Yeah. If we don't offer it on time, does the deity accept it? If he doesn't accept it, is it really prasadam? Should the rest of us accept it? That's the idea, right? Yeah. Generally, we accept, but it should be done timely. We're not going to, micro-examine. Was the pujari really clean? Did he offer everything? What was in his mind? Was his mind clean? Was he on time? And when we finish that, nothing's prasadam. So generally we accept, but the pujari, for that reason also, so that the devotees will be pleased. That in one sense, the pujari is representing all the devotees. Everyone's worshipping Krishna, and the pujari is on the front line, of course, or maybe that's the wrong metaphor, but he's the person who's offering. Devotees have cooked, devotees have brought together different ingredients, devotees have brought money for buying the things. So many people have endeavored to pull together the various ingredients for the offering. And now the pujari's duty is to offer everything on time. So he should do that. He should do that. That's called responsible. Responsible. May not always be easy. There's so many difficulties. But we should try.
How did I don't know the personality of Tulsi. Like, there's a story behind her.
Is there a story? Is there a Tulsi story? How Tulsi comes to
Like,
Krishna and all of
who
that?
is she?
I don't know stories. I never heard a story from Prabhupada about Tulsi. I'm sure you can find lots of stories in the Puranas, but I don't know any of them. I do know one but this is mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion, that there was a devotee who was asking Tulsi for information about the lotus feet of Krishna. Because the devotee figured that Tulsi is always at the lotus feet of Krishna, so Tulsi can inform me about the glories of Krishna's lotus feet. This is mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. Last question.
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
Sometimes Krishna consciousness, as you were explaining, is very simple. You chant Hare Krishna in front of Tulsi. Very simple process. At the same time, we also have the side of the rules and regulations and the apparent more complicated or systematic nature of devotional service. And then beyond even that, there are services and duties that we have, spreading Krishna consciousness, preaching, opening temples, distributing books, which Prabhupada ordered us to do. So how do we balance the simplicity with the...
On the one side, all you have to do is chant Hare Krishna and offer Tulsi leaves. Then there's more detailed worship. Then there's preaching. How do we balance all these things? Most important thing is preaching. That was Prabhupada's emphasis. The most important thing is preaching. Prabhupada said you can leave one person back to worship the deity and send everyone else out preaching. Preaching, far and away, Prabhupada gave most importance to preaching. There are these two things, the deity worship, Pancharatrika, and Bhagavat, the preaching. Prabhupada gave more importance to preaching, by far. By far. Okay. Confirmed. Prabhupada gave the maximum importance to preaching. He criticized his godbrothers. They're just staying in the temple, ring the bells, worship the deities. Where's the preaching? Oh no, we're worshiping the deity, very nice. But where's the preaching? So Prabhupada gave maximum importance to preaching. When he came to America, it's not that he came with a box full of deities to install. He brought Bhāgavatam and was preaching. But then he introduced the deity worship also, because both methods are important. The Bhagavad Vidhi and the Pancharatrika Vidhi, the preaching and the deity worship. The deity worship develops, by deity worship we develop in Krishna consciousness, we keep our platform of purity, we increase our relationship with Krishna. So the two things go side by side. And the deity also, when installed, offers the others the opportunity to have his darshan. But the most important thing is preaching. The most important thing is preaching. Even for the deity worship, the most important component of the deity worship is preaching. The pujaris can think, how do we bring people to see the deity, to serve the deity, to chant the holy name of the deity? It's not just that we ring a bell and do mudras and om. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing is preaching. So how do we bring people to see the deity? How do we bring people to, how do we encourage people to render some service to the deity? To offer something to the deity? To chant the holy name of the deity? To take part in festivals for the deity? This Ratha Yatra is deity worship. It's all about the deity, Lord Jagannath. But what's the most important part of the festival? It's preaching. It's not just our little, family picnic that we go out with the deity and we have a nice time and we chant Jai Jagannath and then we have some prasadam. The most important aspect of the festival is to bring others into contact with Lord Jagannath, or in contact with the holy name of the Lord, the prasadam of the Lord, the devotees of the Lord, the process of devotional service. That's the most important part of the festival. If we just do a lot of fancy rituals to offer, this, that, and the other thing to the Lord, not as good. That's good also, if you can do so many things, but the main thing is the preaching. In the temple itself, so that's Jagannath, and this is one festival for Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath has other festivals also. This is the most important one. But for the Radha Krishna deity or the deities in the temple, there's so many festivals. The Kartik festival, the Govardhan Puja festival, so many festivals. Prabhupada said we could do a festival every week. And he had us doing, back in the old days, you'll remember, every Sunday at the Sunday program, we would have a different festival. A butter churning festival, this festival, that festival. Because that brings people, swing festivals, it brings people closer to Krishna. So that's the most important thing. The gopis aren't thinking, how do I get closer and closer to Krishna? But how do I bring others also? Radharani is pushing, Krishna likes this gopi, how can I bring her? And Rameshwar Prabhu suggested, or declared in a class, that Sankirtan was in the mood of the gopis. And Prabhupada, when that was questioned to Prabhupada, yes, he has spoken the right thing. So the deity worship isn't just our private business. We're meant to think, how do I engage others in the service of the Lord? And the most expert pujaris are thinking like that. How can I engage the devotees? How can I bring others? How can I encourage the guests? What can we do to increase, because that's what pleases the deities most. That's what pleases, not that you offered this and that with gold paraphernalia and special imported flowers from Kenya, but that you bring other people into contact with him for reviving their Krishna consciousness. That preaching is the best deity worship. Not to say that, all right, we just preach, one should strictly follow the rules and regulations, not concoct anything. But the most essential aspect of the deity worship is to do everything with love for Krishna and to bring others into that connection with Krishna. So this Ratha Yatra festival is first-class deity worship. We're spending so much money to worship the deity, but in this way, to spread Krishna consciousness, spread the glories of the deity. So this is one festival, and you can think, the pujaris can think, everyone can think, how do I bring more people into the service of the Lord? Deity worship also, the accountant is doing deity worship. The person who's doing construction or painting, he's also worshiping the deity. The person who's doing any service, because it's all the deity's property. That's one of the items of deity worship. It's mentioned in Nectar Devotion. It's sort of been transformed into book scores and Lakshmi points, but the tradition is that the accounts are presented before the deity. That means the accounts better be good. I'm not against Lakshmi points and all that, but the tradition is the accounts are presented before the deity. My dear Lord, this was the income, this was the expenditure, because he's the proprietor of the whole business or the whole establishment. So to whom are we accountable ultimately? To the deity. So everyone in the temple, by their service, swakarmana tamabhyarcha, siddhim vindati, can become perfect by their service to the deity in whatever their prescribed duty may be. And still, among all the services, preaching is the most important. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Time ho gaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.